man Kil.
I'm Dr. Roz.
Marriage Exposed. We back at it. We're actually gonna do some questions from our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/exposing marriage. So, yeah.
I never knew who you were. I'm just like, oh, just go find us in groups, Marriage Exposed. I should know that.
So, one of the questions on here, discussion points, and if you haven't come through, join crazy discussions all times of day and night.
All day, all night. It's a wonderful community.
So, this is from, and I want to make sure I'm pronouncing her name wrong, forgive me if I'm not.
Kuwina
Roberts. Why is it so hard to find a single man who's educated, spiritually grounded, ambitious, has a decent job, adventurous, but has little to zero baggage, loves family, life, well-mannered, has some brought up to see, believes in treating a lady like a lady, physically fit, very romantic, knows how to make good love. And when I say baggage, I'm referring to ex-girlfriend issues, baby mama drama, ex-wife issues, 3+ kids from several baby mamas. Y'all know the drift. I stopped looking 2 years ago, changed my frequency to attract a better breed of man, focused on personal development, and did some introspective to make a change in my overall attitude and values. Yet most of all the qualities I've listed so far, and few in these men these days. So let's discuss the cause. I'm certain many other single women, unmarried women here have the same views and concerns. Are our standards set too high? Are we still doing something wrong? Should we wait more or go out hunting now? My first thing was that's a long list.
Woo! I know, that made me tired.
You like chili, like you got.
I know.
You got everything.
Is she still with anybody?
I don't think chili. Yeah, you got a lot. You know, and I understand you wanting all those things, and it's funny because,
and it's okay that she wants that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. Let me see if I got my notes. You take this one. Let me get some notes.
Okay. I think it's okay for you to have those standards. And, you know, you even said that you did some things to get your stuff together. I don't know how old you are, but I think that's very mature to recognize that there were still some things about you that were not ready for a relationship, or you wanted to better yourself. And so that's a great place to be. However, when we get into that place, we just can't expect other people to be there, unfortunately. And sometimes, and my husband used to tell me this all the time, Roz, you want to date yourself. You might as well be dating yourself. And I've never really understood what he meant by that, because I was like, what? You know, like, what do you mean? But what he was saying is that those same things that I deem are great, that I think I possess, I may not be able to find that in someone else. And so, not that you take your standards away, but maybe you got to tweak your standards a bit. You know, because no one is going to be perfect. And I think sometimes we get caught up with, you know, the idea that he must be perfect. You know, so you said something like the guy having three kids with 3 different mamas. Yeah, who would want to deal with that? You know?
Right.
And it does give that history that if you and him were to get into a relationship and then, you know, things happen and 9 months later, you'd probably be worried, yeah, is he going to leave me too? You know, just like he left the first 3. Or that's probably a major concern. And I think sometimes when we do things so young, in terms of relationships, we don't understand the precedence or the damage that, or the appearance, let me say that, the appearance that we give off to other people about who we are. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, if you had a kid, you know, if you had kids by several different men, or if you had kids by several different women, and maybe you did that in your 20s, but maybe in your 30s, you're a different person, it's somewhat kind of hard to kind of combat your history, basically. And so I understand where you're coming from, and I think we have to be open to look past someone's history to see who they are today. But if you see some things that are red flags for you, then by all means, get out of that situation. Don't get even more caught up in that situation. You know, I was speaking with a couple the other day, and the lady in the couple just there's just some things about the relationship that she doesn't like, yet she stays out of convenience. And so you just can't do things like that. You can't mess up someone else's life like that, or play with someone else's emotions when you know you really don't want to be there, but you're there for a selfish reason. And I think sometimes, to hear her frustration, I think sometimes people stay for selfish reasons, for their own gains, and they don't realize how unfair that is to the other person. And maybe they didn't mean to hurt that person, but you always have to look and see, what are you doing? What are your actions saying about you? And I think people don't look at their actions enough, and they don't care about the interpretation. I hear so many people saying, I don't care what this person thinks about me, but you should care, because your character is important. And so you want someone to describe you in the best light. I think that's a bunch of hogwash too when people say, I don't care what people think about me, because you do. You just too scared to admit it, but you do. But in this situation, I think she's doing the best that she can. She's working on herself. I say, don't look for it. Don't look for it. Or go do things that you like, and hopefully you'll meet someone at the places or the things that you like.
Yeah. I agree with Roz. You're doing the right thing, doing the whole self-introspection and stuff, all that good stuff too. But the list is too long. Come on. You're just not going to find it. It's just too much. So I was scrolling through my notes because my wife and I, kind of mentor couples here and there and things like that. So a lot of our friends have been asking us about dating. So, coming from a biblical perspective, we sat down with our pastor and his wife to kind of talk about dating, God's way. And we'll kind of get into some of those notes I took later. But one of the things that we talked about is when writing a list is that you want to write down 5 things that you want. Really, if you have a list over 5 things, your list is just kind of bananas. And the reason why I'm saying that is because those 5 things that are in that list can kind of break off into different sections, but that these are the 5 core things. So for instance, you want somebody who is saved. That's just something that you want. You want somebody who loves Jesus Christ.
Said that.
Right. I know. I'm just saying that. I'm just giving an example. Like, I want somebody who's saved. I want somebody who's a good provider. I want someone who wants a family. I want someone who's going to compliment me. I want somebody who's going to help me become what God wants me to be. Like, those can be 5, core things, and to kind of look at it like that, because let me go back to what the list was. It was spiritually grounded, ambitious, has a decent job, adventurous. I don't know how important adventurous is. Only you would know that. Like, if he doesn't want to go skydiving, am I going to cut him off even though he's saved and has a good job? So, loves, well-mannered, has some, I don't even know what.
See, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Physically fit, very romantic. Like, does he have to be very romantic? Like, very romantic? Can he kind of romantic? Like, I'm just saying that we have to, and again, they're up to you, but again, from having a lot of homegirls who are single, I've seen lists go from this down to, is he straight and does he have a job?
Yeah.
Okay? So the older you get, your list is going to come down, because you're going to find more and more. And that's when you have to ask yourself, is it that important? And for her, it may be that important. Hey, I like skydiving. That's something I want to share. I love skiing. I love bungee jumping. That's something I want to share. So then that needs to be at the top of your list. I didn't say the things that I said had to be your top 5, but you've got to really think about a top 5 list. If your list is 20 things, then you're probably not going to find that dude. If your list is probably over 5, so you have to sit down and decide, what are the top 5 things I want? If I want to be spiritually grounded, I want to have a decent job, I want to love family, and be romantic, and what was another one? And treat a lady like a lady. Then those are your 5. So if he's not physically fit,
that can always be worked out.
Yeah, it can be worked out, but then again, don't get with me and I'm fat and you want to now make me skinny, So, but that's why all I'm saying is I'm challenging you to condense that list down to your top 5. Now, whatever those top 5 things are, that's fine. But that's where, like you said, you're doing yourself assessment. That's where during your self-assessment, you're saying, how can I get this list down? And it's the same thing looking for a job. You can have a list with 20 things. I don't know if we look at our jobs right now, is it everything we would want? No, most people it ain't even the top 5, but we want a job and we need to pay more. So I'm just saying that top 5 is a good number to kind of have that list to say that these are the core 5 things that I'm not budgeting for. This is what I'm not budgeting for. So that's my challenge to you, is to just cut this list down to your top 5, and maybe you'll find somebody. To be honest, there's not a lot of good dudes out here, so you still may not find nobody.
What?
What?
You don't think it's a lot of good dudes out here?
Not really. Most of them are either married or gay or,
Kil.
on the down low. So
Kil.
No.
Really?
If it was, why would it be only single women?
Kil. What? I don't know.
Okay, cool. So now we're back to normal. Me and Roz not agreeing.
Not agreeing.
Now we're back to normal. We had a couple of videos where we went off some crazy path when we were agreeing with each other. Now we're back to normal. We don't agree. So my challenge is, great doing the self-assessment. Get that list down to 5. Prayerfully, you can make it happen. So I'm your man, Kil.
And I'm Dr. Roz.
Check out our Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/exposing marriages.
It's a great group.
It's, like I said, it's popping 24 hours in there. Okay, so you can go at 9 in the morning, 9 at night, 2 in the morning. It's something always going on.
I'm always waking up to see, what are they talking about?
So check us out. Any questions or comments, marriageexposed@gmail.com. I'm your man, Kil.
And I'm Dr. Roz.
Keep it locked.